Hey guys, all right, so in my last video, we talked about the number one reason why so many women are struggling to lose weight, even though they're working out all of the time. Today, what we're gonna do is we're gonna talk about the number two reason for why they're not seeing results. And this is something that all women get wrong, okay? Every single person I talk to. And, if you missed my last video, I highly suggest you go check that one out because it's one of those sort of light bulb moments that you'll have to understanding why you're spinning your wheels, okay? And it's imperative that you take care of the first step before you really start to apply the second step, okay? Which I'll talk about. Just as a quick review from the last video, there should have been 3 takeaways that you would have gotten from that video. So number 1 would have been that we are not burning fat when we work out, okay? We're just releasing fat. The number 2 takeaway is that stress is preventing the fat burning process from actually happening, okay? And then number 3 takeaway is that stress is both physical and emotional. Physical stress can look like eating too little, exercising too much, or not getting enough sleep. And then emotional stress, well, that's stuff like, having high anxiety, overwhelmed, feeling frustrated, angry, disappointed, like afraid of gaining fat. Like all those types of emotions are stress, and a lot of people don't connect those two together. And so in other words, really most people are living in a continual cycle of high stress, a continual cycle of stress. And so what you need to understand is that the very first step to burning stubborn fat, specifically for women, is learning how to chill out, okay? Both physically and mentally, all right? Now, that's easier said than done, right? Especially for women like you and I, because we've trained ourselves to go hard, suck it up, be disciplined and never take a rest day or never take a break, never allow ourselves to really, just relax. And that's what's standing in your way. So, and not only are we really good at that, but we're like the best at that. Like we're like the best at just go, 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 which is why we need somebody to not only show us how to turn our monkey brain off and how to relax, but to also keep ourselves accountable to giving ourselves permission to relax, so that your overdriven type A personality doesn't hold you back from seeing the results that you should be seeing from all your hard work, okay? So, you really just need somebody to teach you how to work smarter, not harder. And that's what I do in my FitChic Academy with my clients. But there's another reason why diet and exercise stops working for women, okay? And that's what we're going to talk about now. So that is because women tend to eat the same low-calorie diet every single day, day in and day out, okay? And that's where they go wrong. They think that they should be just eating low calories and working out more, and then they're wondering why the scale's not budging. The thing is, it's not what you want to do. Science is very, very clear about this now, and especially for women, okay? And the reason why is that your body is an adaptive machine, okay? It adapts really quickly. In fact, like if you can recall last time you got injured, you probably, you had to relearn a new way of walking. Let's say you injured your leg, your left leg. Well, then you had to start walking on your right leg, and everything just sort of adapted to that. Another example would be like when you, like your dog wakes you up in the middle of the night for a couple nights, and then all of a sudden you keep waking up at that same time night after night. It's because our body, it adapts to that. It's very quick to adapt to that. And the same thing happens with our body, our metabolism, with the number of calories that we're eating, okay? And so when it adapts to a certain number of calories, say like 1,200 calories, because that seems to be the number that so many women tend to eat, the body actually down regulates to burn that amount of calories, okay? So it's not, even though your metabolic rate is supposed to be 1,600 calories or whatever, if sometimes like the DEXA scan will say that, or like a macro calculator or something like that, it's not, you're not always burning those calories. Your body is constantly changing. It changes when you're stressed. Like you're not burning as many calories when you're stressed, when you don't get sleep. When you eat too little, it down regulates. When you get sick, you start burning less calories. So even though you're told that your metabolic rate is 1,600 calories, you're not actually burning that, even though that's maybe what your watch is saying or what the treadmill like is saying that you're burning like so many calories or whatever, because the body's changing. And I think this is the part that so many women get wrong, you know? And so they think that if they just keep eating 1,200 calories, that they're creating a deficit. There is no deficit when you are eating the same way day in and day out, okay? Because your body adapts to it. And so because of that, we need to trick it. We need to jiggle the metabolism. We need to give it a reason to respond, okay? It's just like when we work out in the gym. We wouldn't want to do a set of, 3 sets of 5 of back squats at the same weight every single day, day in and day out. Like, we're not going to get stronger or fitter, right? If we wanted to get stronger or fitter, we'd have to either increase the weight or increase the reps or slow down the tempo in order to create, a reason for the body to build muscle, okay, to get stronger. And so the same thing happens with metabolism. We need to give it a reason to keep responding. And we do this by cycling your calories, okay? So this is so funny story. I ordered a new whiteboard, and I did that thing where you spend days looking for a whiteboard, finding the perfect whiteboard. And then I ordered it, and I was so excited for it to come in, and it came in, and the box was busted up. And not only was it busted up, but I was also missing pieces. So this is a new whiteboard, but it's very sketchy right now because it didn't come with all the pieces it should have. So just kind of funny, side rant, okay? So anyways, it might fall over a couple times. Okay, so we need to give the body a reason to respond. Like I said, I like to kind of talk about, or I like to think of it as we're jiggling the metabolism. We're going to go high calories, then low calories, then high calories and low calories. We're basically tricking it rather than, eating 1,200 calories every single day, day in and day out, because then the body, it just stops listening. It doesn't respond. It down regulates. Okay. And so what typically happens is women are just going to be like, oh, I'm just going to eat less and I'm going to exercise more. And that happens for a period amount of time until it adapts again. And then you do it again. Well, you can't keep doing that, right? You otherwise, well, actually that's what a lot of women do. And then they're like, I'm eating 800 calories and I'm not losing any weight and I'm exercising, an hour or 2 a day. And this is why the body starts to put a governor on your metabolism, meaning you used to burn 1,600 calories and now it's only burning 1,200. And then you used to be able to burn 1,200 and now you're only burning 800 because of the stress that you're putting on it and the fact that you're not doing anything different. All right. So like I said, you got to jiggle the metabolism. You got to go high calories then low calories. And that is going to set you up unbelievably well for your body to start responding again. Okay. So when you go from low to high and you go back down to low calories, your body will maintain that higher metabolic rate for a little bit of time so that you actually see some progress there, okay? Again, this is after you've applied step 2 or step 1. So this is step 2, okay? You have to watch the last video, and I'll do a little bit of review here in a minute about what step 1 was, okay? So we need to cycle our calories. There's a couple different ways that you can do this. You can do this with the menstrual cycle, which is the way that I like to do it. Okay, so this is my favorite way. And the reason for that is because, so if you have a menstrual cycle, there's certain times of the month where you can eat more food and that food is going to be less likely to be stored as fat. There's also times where you can eat that same amount of food in that month where you're actually going to gain fat. And this is all this all has to do with your hormones, okay? It's pretty crazy. So there's certain times where you're in a more fat burning state, and then there's certain times where you're in a fat storing state. And this is, you want to, if you don't want to fight yourself, you want to be working with your menstrual cycle, right? Not against it. And so when you do that, you're going to be able to burn fat much faster and also build muscle much faster. So this is my preferred way of doing it if my client has a menstrual cycle to begin with. If they don't have a menstrual cycle, you still need to cycle, okay? Regardless, this has to happen. How you do it is up to you. You can go 1 week on, 1 week off. So 1 week high calorie. And when I say high calorie, that's like isocaloric calorie, right? So that's kind of it's the higher amount of calories where you can maintain your body weight. Okay, so usually it's going to be probably anywhere between like 1,600 to 2,500 calories ish. Okay, for women, sometimes higher, right? I have clients that can go all the way up to 3,000 calories. So it really depends on the person. But so you would do 1 week isocaloric, 1 week low calorie. And then you could also, another option is you could go 2 weeks on, 2 weeks off. So you go two weeks isocaloric, 2 weeks, deficit, basically. Okay. So 1 week on, 1 week off is the same thing as 1 week isocaloric, 1 week deficit. 2 weeks on, 2 weeks off. That's 2 weeks isocaloric, 2 weeks deficit. And then the last one, you could also do it, just daily based off your output. So if you're, if you're working out a lot more, that day, you can just go higher calories on the days that you work out, and then much lower calories on the days that you don't work out. Okay. And so how many calories is going to be dependent on just a lot of factors. It's really hard to say. But I guess I could give you a ballpark that, for the higher calories, it's going to be anywhere between probably 15 to 20 times body weight for most women. But not always. So if you've really ran your metabolism to the ground, you wouldn't want to start off that high. Okay. You have to slowly get yourself into that. And then for low calories, that could be 12 times body weight or less. Okay. And this would be only what you do when you're not working out. Eating less and exercising less is completely different from eating less and exercising more. Eating less and exercising more is the reason why you're stuck. So you definitely don't want to do that. So if you're going to go low calorie, you have to make sure that you're also not working out at the same time. Okay. So those are the 4 different options that you can do that. The point is, it doesn't matter how you really do it. You just have to cycle. And if you don't have a menstrual cycle, you still need to cycle, right? I still cycle my women, that either menopausal women or that are on birth control. I still cycle them, usually kind of like a week to week sort of format. But with these guys, with menopausal women and women that are on birth control, you do just want to make sure that you pay attention to the amount of carbs, because you're a lot more insulin resistant, meaning you're in a more fat storing state. Okay. So those are the kind of the 4 different options that you can use. And so just to kind of recap what we've talked about in the last 2 videos, why so many women are struggling to lose weight despite doing the diets, doing the workouts, doing everything, and they're not seeing results. Well, one is because their body's under stress. And remember that stress does not allow you to burn fat. So I don't care how hard you want to work out in the gym, you're not burning fat when you work out. You're just releasing it. In fact, and if you're stressed out, you're just releasing and restoring. And that is what you're working so hard, is just to release the fat and restore it. You're not doing any fat burning. You have to take stress off the system, both physically and mentally, in order to start seeing that scale budge. Okay. And so how you do that, there's different ways that you can take stress off the system. I personally, I use a combination of things. I really find a huge benefit for the driven, fitness-loving women that I work with to do some type of mindset, sort of meditation type thing, but also slow walking, naps, relaxing yoga, long showers, hot baths, Tai Chi, those kind of things. So there's not that many things that you can do, that you can do that really take stress off the system. We don't want to. Power walking would not be taking stress off the system. That actually just keep bringing more stress on the system. So it has to be a relaxing thing. And I personally prefer meditation as one of them, because it really chills out the entire system. So that's step 1, is take stress off the system so that you can start to see your diets and your workouts start to work again. The second thing is you need to cycle your calories. So once you've done step 1, then you can move to step 2. You would not want to do step 2 without doing step 1, because then you'll just get fat. All right. Stress and food don't go very well. So if you have a lot of stress on the body, if you're stressed out all the time, anxious, overwhelmed, and you start eating a bunch of food, that's like a fat storing atomic bomb. You just don't want to go there. Okay. So take stress off and then cycle your calories from using one of the 4 options. Okay. If this is, I know this can be a lot to take in. But it's really just that simple. This is really what will, for the most part, this is what will get a lot of people out of their plateau. But if you want some help with this is something that I work with. I work with women over 30 that are, they eat well, they work out often, and they're not seeing results from traditional diets. These are some of the reasons why. So if you're just tired of being fed up and you just want somebody to show you exactly what to do that is specific to your female body and your age, and not have to do another diet again, then just hit me up, send me a message on Instagram or comment below, and we will see if you'd be a good fit for my academy, and we'll get you those results in no time. All right, guys, hope you enjoyed that. Hope you guys took something away from that, and I hope you have a great day.